What's up, you guys? It's Thomas2 coming back at you again with another YouTube video, and today we are forming our own political opinion. So the whole reason I'm doing this video is kind of for myself, but also I think it's something that a lot of Gen Z needs to do. I know that even before I started doing this, I knew that I was, left-leaning and democratic, but I didn't know exactly what I was standing for, and to be honest, I didn't know exactly what that meant. I had an idea, but I didn't know exactly, and so I think this is something that everybody should, whether you're a Gen Z or however old you are, should do. So basically, I hope this video helps people kind of figure out what their political stance is. This is especially for people that don't care or just don't think they need to know. Obviously, if you can't vote, it's probably not the most important. Even if you can't, it's still good to, start knowing what your beliefs are and what kind of changes you want to see in the world. So that by the time you can vote, you're not just kind of floating adrift, not knowing what the heck is even going on. Okay, let me just give a disclaimer for a few of the steps in these visuals that I'm giving you. I only searched up one website. I'm sure you've been told this numerous times, but you should obviously always never just look from one source. This video is to help anybody that wants to figure out their own political opinion. It's unbiased. This video isn't to tell you whether to be Democratic or Republican. I definitely am not anybody that should be telling anybody what to believe in or anything like that. But this is a guide to help yourself. Yeah, that's the whole sentence. What else do I need to talk about? The biggest thing that I want to kind of talk about is you never want to just hear one side of the story. So that's why you'll see later on when I'm searching up like democratic values, I'm also going to search up right wing, and when I search up Biden, I'm going to search up Trump and that kind of stuff. The way I formatted this research was taking notes, and then at the end I would kind of summarize my opinions on it. I'm not saying this like make this an assignment for yourself, but that's just the easiest way for me to organize my thoughts. So without further ado, let's get ahead into it. So the first thing that I think that you should do, research how does the government work? How was the Democratic Party founded? How was the Republican Party founded? Just that kind of stuff. You'll find out stuff like the two parties actually switched over time. But just search up things like, what are the three branches of government? How does the Congress work? How does the Senate work? Some sort of foundation or base of the knowledge that's going to come on later. So the next thing to do is start to form your decision. What wing are you leaning towards? Are you more left-leaning, right-leaning? Are you more of a Democrat, Republican, or independent? I didn't research anything about independent and Green Party. Socialism and capitalism, just ideas on that. Kind of figure out what you stand for and why. So that's why, like I was saying, my little summaries, you want to not only figure out what you're standing for, but you want to be able to explain why. You don't want to just be blabbing your mouth and supporting and rooting for something and you don't even know what you're talking about. Why did that sound so mean? But no, like you want to know what you're talking about and why you stand for it. So the third step is to research global issues or national issues right now. A few things just off the top of my head. Racial equality in the US, the global climate crisis, immigration policies at the border, also mass incarceration, poverty in the US, why it's as high as it is. And, just kind of form your own opinions. What would you do if you were in charge of the US? What would you do to fix these problems? Or do they seem like problems to you? Why and why not? Just things like that. And the last step, I would say, is to figure out ways you can help. It's nice and dandy to just acknowledge that these problems exist, but what are you gonna do now that you know that they exist and why? What are you gonna do to solve them? So for my personal examples, obviously donating, you know, signing petitions and spreading the word, particularly for the climate crisis. You can obviously be conserve more energy, only get water and food that you're actually going to consume. I feel like the best way to actually make a change is to donate to a cause. Obviously, you want to make sure you're donating to a legitimate foundation, but that's probably the most direct way to actually make a change in the problem. Also, another way that you can make a change is contacting your congressman or contact leaders in your area and just talk to them or get your message across that, say I wanted to make a change in immigration policies at the border, I could either call or email my congressman asking that they make more accessible routes for immigrants, especially at the southern border. You know, contact your congressman. You can either call or email. I'm sure if you call, they won't answer, but you can leave a message. Okay, so that is basically all I have. Just to kind of wrap up everything and give like a few more disclaimers. This shouldn't be like, I don't want to make it seem like a project or like this big thing that's so complicated. These are just a few steps and suggestions that I created. Obviously, I'm literally just 15 years old. Who cares what the heck I think? You obviously have to start somewhere, you know? This is just the way that I went about it. That's the way that made the most sense to me. At the same time, while this isn't the maximum, it's also not the minimum. This is just, like I said, a starting point. So over time, I feel like everybody should be constantly, you know, learning and absorbing new information and forming new opinions based off of new circumstances. And I think this is a great way to figure out what you stand for. I think that's all. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. Go form your own opinion, use these steps or not, or make your own steps. And yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.